In this video, we're going to focus on website evaluation for your Nursing 143 assignment. And for this assignment, you're going to need to find and evaluate two websites, one that is credible and one that is not. So in your library guide, there's a page on website credibility that you can access on the left. And this page will give you some strategies for evaluating websites. When evaluating websites, you want to consider the following elements. Who is the author? Who is the intended audience? And what is the purpose of this text? So for the author, you want to try to find out as much as you can about the person or organization responsible for the information. So read the About Us section, the mission statement, an author bio. See if the author has any credentials that would make them an expert on the subject. You can Google the author and organization to find out more information about them, and see if they have any affiliations that might lead them to having a potential bias. For audience, based on the information, who do you think would be the intended audience for the website? Who might they be trying to gear the information towards, and how might that audience react or feel about the subject? And then for purpose, you want to consider what the intended purpose of the website is. So what kind of language and images are they using? Are they trying to convince you to do something? Are they selling products? When you're researching, you want to find websites that are informative and educational, and avoid websites that are trying to convince you something, trying to get you to do something, try to sell you something, or are created for entertainment. Another evaluation technique is the SIFT method. So if you see in this infographic, they are going through 4 different parts for SIFT. And this is especially helpful when you're trying to verify claims. So when you're using the SIFT method, you're trying to actively fact-check information at the same time that you are reading the information on the site. So when you come across the information, you're first going to stop. You're going to investigate the source, try to find out more information using some of the evaluation techniques that we discussed above. You're going to find additional information that can verify the claims or see if you can find better sources. And finally, you're going to try to trace back their claims to original source and make sure the information has accurately been presented and it's in the right context. And this is especially important when you're evaluating sources that are making medical claims. For our first website, we're going to be looking at an article from Harvard Health. And I'm sticking with the same topic that we used in the last video, where we were exploring the potential benefits of vitamin D in relation to COVID-19. When we examine the organization, we can see that the website is affiliated with Harvard Health Medical School, which is a well-known and respected organization. And I'm going to click on the About Us section to find out more about the purpose of the site. So if I scroll through this, I can see that the purpose is informative and educational. And if I go back to the article, I'm going to click on the author's name. And if I go through his bio, I can find out some more information about him, and I see that he has expertise and authority in the field based on his bio. And as an extra step here, I could also Google him if I wanted to find out more information about him. So going back to the article, I do want to point out that this is a blog, and blogs can sometimes be more opinion-based. So that is something that you want to be mindful of if you're considering a source, if it's identifying itself as a blog. So I'm going through this article, and one of the things that I am seeing is that there are several links to studies. And when you come across links, be sure to click on those links. Make sure that they are actually sourcing to what the website says that they are sourcing to. Sometimes websites will mention studies or even have links, but when you actually click on them, they don't take you to where you expect, or they may be linking to uncredible content, or the information could be taken out of context. So in this particular study, it looks like they are linking to National Library of Medicine, which is another reliable source. And it looks like, for the most part, the articles are pretty recent. And overall, the tone of this article is informative, and the author is presenting multiple perspectives. So this is a website that I would consider credible, and it's also a good stepping stone for exploring more in-depth research. So you can click on the multitude of articles that they are linking to, and you can read those studies, and you can also compare them to the research studies that you were finding when you were searching the library databases. Now let's compare that with this website from Natural News. First off, they're making a really big claim here. 90% of deaths could have been prevented just from taking vitamin D. When you come across sources that make big claims like this, the SIFT evaluation method strategies that we discussed are helpful. So using the SIFT method, we're going to first stop and investigate the source. When I click on the author's name, it just takes me to a list of other articles that he's written. I don't see any indication that he has medical background or expertise. And looking through these articles, they're not focused on a specific specialty, and they also seem pretty extreme in their rhetoric. So I'm going to go check out the About Us section of Natural News. And here we see that the founder also does not appear to have any medical background or expertise, only that he claims that he is an activist trans scientist, and he calls himself the Health Ranger. And scrolling through the About Us section, we can see that the content is all over the place. Everything from vaccines to sociopaths, and also extreme in its rhetoric. So when I look at the website in general, I can see on the left-hand side here, they have other articles that almost look like conspiracy theories with some of the things that they are claiming. And on the right-hand side here, we have a ton of ads, many of which are advertising health tonics and supplements, things that they are actually recommending in these articles. So if you read through this article, you'll see a lot of the language that is used and the claims that are made are trying to elicit an emotional response from the reader. So I can tell the purpose of this site is to persuade, and also the website is making money using clickbait, ads, and selling products. None of the claims in this article are backed up really by facts or research. And when I try to trace the source back to the original by clicking on the two links provided in the article, one goes to a somewhat related news story, and the other just links back to another article in the Natural News website. So nothing is really confirming the headline stating that 90% of deaths could have been prevented by taking vitamin D. And also this recommendation down here talking about if you're 100 pounds, you should take 100,000 units of vitamin D for 3 days, which is a pretty big claim without having research to support it. So this is an extremely unreliable website, and it's not even a website that I would feel comfortable using as a stepping stone to more credible information. I would just avoid it. So hopefully this gives you some ideas and strategies for evaluating your own websites, and if you do need additional help, please reach out to me or Jill. If you remember on your library guide on the first page, if you scroll down, you'll see both of our email addresses there. So please reach out to us if you need any help, and we can help you with your project.